Welcome back to Old Coins History, the channel where we dig deep into the coins in your pocket and uncover their secrets. Today, we're tackling a coin that is absolutely everywhere. It's one of the most common dates you're likely to find in your pocket change, but it's also the subject of countless online rumors and hopeful questions. The 1984 Lincoln Memorial Penny. So, is your 1984 penny a worthless piece of zinc or a hidden treasure? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, what it's truly worth, and we might even debunk a few myths along the way. To understand the 1984 penny, we need a little context. Let's rewind. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. For decades, these coins were struck in a bronze alloy, 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. That changed in 1982. Due to the rising cost of copper, the U.S. Mint made a historic switch. Midway through 1982, they began producing cents with a core of 99.2% zinc, plated with a thin layer of pure copper. This new coin was much cheaper to produce, but it felt and sounded different. It had a duller thud instead of the classic bronze ring. So, when we talk about 1984 pennies, we are almost exclusively talking about these copper-plated zinc coins. But that, almost, is where things get interesting. The first and most critical step in evaluating any 1984 penny is identifying its composition. And you don't need a fancy lab for this. The easiest way is the sound test. Drop the coin on a hard surface. A zinc coin will make a dull, low-pitched clunk. A copper coin will make a higher-pitched, resonant ring. The other way is the edge inspection. Look at the edge of the coin. If you see a distinct, brassy brown stripe, that's a copper coin. If you see a silvery gray stripe, that's the zinc core showing through. For a 1984 penny, if you see that silvery edge, it's not a mint error, it's just a damaged coin where the copper plating has worn off. But if you see a solid brown edge, you might have something special. First up, the 1984 Philadelphia penny, no mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 8.1 billion pennies that year. Let that number sink in. 8.1 billion. Because of this colossal mintage, finding a 1984 P in your change is about as common as finding air to breathe. In circulated condition, that means worn from use, this penny is worth exactly 1 cent. Its value is purely face value. Even in uncirculated, brilliant condition, you're looking at a coin worth maybe 25 to 50 cents. It's a great coin for filling an album, but it's not going to pay for your next car. Next, the 1984 D penny, struck at the Denver Mint. Denver actually outdid Philadelphia this year, producing over 8.2 billion pennies. So, it's equally common. A circulated 1984 D is worth 1 cent. A pristine, uncirculated example might fetch you up to $1 if it's absolutely perfect, but generally, it's in the same 25 to 50 cent range as the P. So, for the vast majority of you, your regular 1984 and 1984 D pennies are, I'm sorry to say, just spenders. But what about the San Francisco Mint? Ah, now we're talking. The 1984 S penny is a different beast entirely. In 1984, the San Francisco Mint did not produce pennies for general circulation. Their entire production was dedicated to proof coins sold directly to collectors in sets. Proof coins are struck multiple times with specially polished dies on polished planchets. The result is a mirror-like background with frosty, detailed devices. They are beautiful. The 1984 S-proof penny comes in 2 versions, and this is key. First, the brilliant finish proof, this is the standard version. Over 3.3 million were made. In its original proof set, it's worth about $2 to $4. If you take it out of the set, it's still just a couple of dollars, but the second type, this is the one that gets collectors' hearts racing. The 1984 S-proof penny with a cameo finish. A cameo proof has such a strong contrast that Lincoln's portrait looks almost white and frosty against the black mirror background. This effect is caused by the depth of the strike and the treatment of the dies. While not the rarest cameo, the 1984 S is highly desirable. A regular 1984 S proof is a few dollars. But a deep cameo or ultra cameo example, that can be worth $15 to $30 or more, even today. So if you have a proof set and the penny has that incredible contrast, you've got a winner. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. You've probably seen the clickbait articles, rare 1984 copper penny sells for $10,000. Is it true? Well, yes and no. It is technically possible for a 1984 penny to be struck on a bronze planchet, a leftover from 1982. This would be a major mint error. In theory, such a coin would be incredibly valuable, potentially worth thousands to the right error collector. But, and this is a huge but, these coins are phenomenally, astronomically rare. There are more confirmed sightings of Bigfoot than there are authenticated 1984 copper pennies. The vast majority of coins people think are copper are just normal zinc coins with toning, environmental damage, or are just plain dirty. If you truly believe you have one, the only way to know for sure is to test its weight. A zinc penny weighs 2.5 grams. A copper penny weighs 3.11 grams. You need a very precise scale. And even if it weighs correctly, it must be authenticated by a service like PCGS or NGC to have any real value. Do not get your hopes up on this one. So, what should you actually look for in a 1984 penny? Let's talk about errors and varieties. This is where the real opportunity lies. The most famous is the 1984 doubled die penny, ***. There are a few minor double die varieties, but the most sought after is the 1984 double die obverse, particularly on the Philadelphia issue. On this variety, you can see clear doubling, especially in the date and the motto. This isn't wear and tear, it's a mistake made at the mint during the die creation process. A strong example of the 1984 double die obverse in uncirculated condition can be worth $150 to $300. There's also a lesser-known 1984 D double die, it's more subtle, but a good example can still bring $50 to $100. Other things to look for are repunched mint marks, RPMs, and die cracks, but the double die is the king for this year. So, let's recap. Your quick value guide for the 1984 Lincoln cent. The 1984 penny teaches us a fantastic lesson in numismatics. Common coins can become fascinating when you know what secrets to look for. It's not about the date alone, it's about the mint mark, the condition, and the subtle varieties that tell a story. The Indian head penny, 1859 to 1909 ***. Despite its name, the figure on the coin is not a Native American man, but Lady Liberty wearing a Native American headdress. This design was immensely popular and circulated for 50 years, witnessing the Civil War, industrialization, and the closing of the western frontier. It became a familiar symbol in pockets and purses across a rapidly changing nation. In 1909, the penny underwent its most significant transformation since its introduction. A radical departure ***. For the first time, a real historical person, President Abraham Lincoln, appeared on a regular issue U.S. coin. This was to commemorate the 100th anniversary of his birth. The designer ***. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, and his initials, VDB, were originally placed prominently on the reverse at the bottom. This caused a public controversy, deemed too prominent, and was removed shortly after production began in 1909. The initials were returned in 1918, smaller, on Lincoln's shoulder. The wheat penny ***. The reverse featured 2 stalks of Durham wheat, leading to the coin's enduring nickname, the wheat penny. This coin saw the nation through 2 world wars and the Great Depression. World War II created a critical copper shortage, as the metal was needed for shell casings and other war material. The 1943 steel cent ***. In 1943, pennies were struck on zinc-coated steel planchets. These coins are silver in color, are magnetic, and prone to rusting. They are a unique and tangible relic of the Homefront War effort. The 1943 copper error ***. A few 1943 cents were mistakenly struck on leftover copper planchets. These are among the most famous and valuable error coins in U.S. numismatics. In 1959, for the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the reverse was redesigned, the Lincoln Memorial Design ***. The new reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, featured the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. A subtle but brilliant detail is that when you look closely at the center of the memorial, you can see a tiny statue of Lincoln seated between the central columns. The composition change, 1982*** due to the rising price of copper. The coin's composition was changed in 1982 from 95% copper and 5% zinc to a core of 99.2% zinc plated with 0.8% copper. This is the composition of the penny we use today. This is why your 1984 penny, as discussed in the previous script, is a copper-plated zinc coin. In 2009, to honor the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the Mint issued 4 different pennies with new reverse designs depicting 4 stages of Lincoln's life. 1. Birth and early childhood in Kentucky, log cabin. 2. Formative years in Indiana, Lincoln reading a book while taking a break from splitting rails. 3. Professional life in Illinois, Lincoln as a young lawyer before the Illinois Capitol. 4. Presidency in Washington, D.C., the unfinished U.S. Capitol dome. Since 2010, the penny has featured a reverse design by Lyndall Base featuring a Union shield. The shield, a symbol of a unified nation, bears a scroll with the motto, E pluribus unum, out of many, one. The 13 vertical stripes on the shield represent the 13 original states.